Children and adolescents, from primary school up to high school, can experience significant pressures in their daily lives. Heavy academic workloads, examinations, social pressures, bullying, and parental expectations all contribute to stress within schools. These conditions can make it difficult for students to concentrate, deal with their emotions, and look after their well-being. So, teachers and health professionals naturally are seeking ways to support students not only to boost academic success, but also improve their mental health. In recent years, one way that has become more popular is the practice of mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness has been described as paying close attention to present moment experiences without judgment or trying to push our thoughts and feelings out of our awareness. It can involve noticing the breath and bodily sensations, acknowledging thoughts and feelings as they arise and pass. The goal is not to get rid of our unpleasant emotions, but rather try to notice them, and in doing so, we can become less reactive to them, forming a healthier way of coping. In schools, mindfulness programs usually aim to grow this awareness through short, structured exercises embedded into the school day. These programs often include breathing practices, body awareness activities, and simple meditation techniques that students can also apply in daily life. In doing so, students may learn to keep steadier attention and improve emotion regulation, both in class and in their social lives more generally. What did the researchers do? This summary is based on a large systematic review that examined the effects of a range of school-based mindfulness programs. The central question was, does teaching mindfulness in schools benefit students? To explore this, the researchers combined the results of 24 studies with more than 2,200 students in total. In these studies, some students were taught mindfulness, while others continued with their regular school activities and acted as comparison groups. The participating students were a range of ages and came from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and the mindfulness programs themselves also varied in content and length and number of sessions. Some lasted only a few weeks, while others were more intensive, including scheduled home practices. Despite the variety, nearly all programs included breathing exercises, guided meditation, and activities aiming to boost students' mindful awareness in everyday life. What did they find out? Overall, the findings were encouraging. Students who participated in mindfulness programs showed improvements in sustaining attention, were more flexible with their thinking, and showed improved problem-solving skills, all abilities that are critical for learning and academic achievement. In addition, students reported feeling less stressed and more resilient, or able to bounce back quicker when facing challenges. Importantly, most students and teachers have indicated that these programs are feasible and acceptable in the school setting. This demonstrates that mindfulness can be realistically integrated into daily school routines. Researchers looked at how big the changes were for students who did mindfulness. A small effect means only a little bit of change. A moderate effect means a noticeable and useful change. A large effect means a very strong and clear change. In most areas, the effects were between small and moderate. But when it came to thinking skills, like paying attention and solving problems, the effect was large. This shows that mindfulness helps students focus better and think more flexibly. When it came to emotional issues like anxiety, worry, or low mood or sadness, the improvements were usually small and often not strong enough to be certain. This means that while some students did feel better, the results were mixed and not always reliable. Teachers and parents sometimes noticed positive changes, but this was not shared across all studies. One particularly important finding was that the length and intensity of the program mattered. Longer programs, especially those including opportunities for home practice, produced stronger and more lasting improvements. This suggests that mindfulness may be less beneficial if delivered as a one-off or short-term activity. Like any skill, It requires repetition and dedicated practice. The researchers also pointed out some weaknesses in the studies. Many involved only a small number of students, so the results might not apply to all schools. Different studies use different tools to measure improvement or benefit, making it hard to compare results directly. Some studies were well-designed and more reliable, while others were not as strong. Because mindfulness research in schools is still quite new as an area, we need bigger, longer, and higher quality studies before we can be sure of its benefits. For now, the results look hopeful, but they should be treated with caution. It is worth noting that this review was carried out over a decade ago, so more studies will now exist. But this was the review we found in the scientific literature that was free to access. Why does this review matter? Schools are not only places where academic knowledge is taught, they are also a bedrock for our social and emotional development. If mindfulness programs can support students' ability to cope with stress, build resilience, and strengthen attention, the potential long-term benefits should improve educational attainment and mental health. At the same time, mindfulness is not a quick fix. Programs appear to be especially helpful when schools create a positive and supportive environment, where teachers, staff, and the school community encourage learning and provide assistance when needed, and activities are tailored to the needs of different age groups and learning environments. Overall, this review tells us that school-based mindfulness programs may contribute to improvements in attention, problem-solving, and stress management, while also supporting students' emotional development at school and other areas of life. However, further larger and high-quality research over a longer period of time is needed to work out if mindfulness is actually beneficial in schools. As the number of research studies grow in this exciting area, another updated review at some point should hopefully be able to tell us more.